I really wish this movie was just ASMR sounds of people breaking pool balls on a pool table. Color of Money, released in 1986 and is directed by Martin Scorsese, who's also behind such films like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, The Last Temptation of Christ, Goodfellas, The Departed, The Wolf of Wall Street, and Killers of the Flower Moon. Which, if you ever wanted a movie to help put you to sleep, go ahead and pop that sucker in. And this film is starring Paul Newman, returning to his role of Fast Eddie Felson from the original movie The Hustler, Tom Cruise, Helen Shaver, and Maid Marian from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Yes, I know that actress actually has a name, but I mean, she's always going to be Maid Marian for me. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves was one of the first movies I remember watching ever, especially on repeat, and just memorizing and playing Robin Hood with my brother in the basement and having sword fights and just watching that movie over and over again. So she's always just going to be Maid Marian to me. So whenever I see her name pop up or to see her pop up on screen, I just go, huh, that's Maid Marian. Awesome. And the reason why we're talking about The Color of Money today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from a longtime contributor and supporter of this channel. He also recommended the first film in this kind of franchise, Dr. Camp. Thank you very much for the recommendation. And if anyone else out there also wants to be like Dr. Camp and help support me and contribute to this channel, you can select the QR code that is in the bottom left corner of your screen right now. Send over your donation of $5 or more with your movie recommendation. And if I have access to it, I will watch it, review it, and give you a little shout out just like what I did with Dr. Camp here. Fast Eddie Felson has given up the game of pool from his original run in the film The Hustler, and almost 30 years later is a successful hustling liquor salesman. Well, one night he sees a pool player just owning the table by the name of Vincent, and Eddie gets those feelings of playing pool and hustling people once again. So Eddie decides to take Vincent and his manager Carmen under his wing to teach them both the ropes of how to hustle people, but also how to become the best pool player in the world. But of course, you know there's going to be some type of falling out because it's Tom Cruise. He has to play a character that's hot-headed and is always coming at you, right? And, oh, you've taught me everything you know, so now I can go off and play in tournaments and just make a whole bunch of money there, right? Ha-ha! I love this woman! Oh, Tom Cruise. A young Tom Cruise here, playing pool with Paul Newman, which, by the way, it's so cool that Paul Newman came back to play the same character that he did in 1961 with The Hustler. Here, definitely older, gray hair, he has a cool mustache. I don't really like mustaches, like just mustaches on people, but damn it, Paul Newman, you rock it, motherfucker. And I think Newman and Tom Cruise have great chemistry with each other. And hell, their chemistry with Maid Marian, yes, it's still going to be Maid Marian. I don't care. You out there, if you're going to hate in the comments, I don't care. She's always Maid Marian. I think all three of their chemistry works so well for this movie. Tom Cruise is a young hotshot who's so intelligent about the game of pool, but not really that intelligent about a lot of street smartsy stuff. That's where Carmen comes in. The character of Carmen, Maid Marian, of course. She has her foot in the door of kind of how things operate on the hustler side. But Paul Newman, Fast Eddie, he definitely owns the room whenever he walks in. He knows exactly what's going to happen, who's going to be doing what at the table. He's just so cool. He is awesome in this movie. And I like how the story here is really a redemption for Fast Eddie. Yes, Fast Eddie came out on top, like he won in The Hustler in the end, but I mean, did he really win? He lost the love of his life, and he was banned from the game of pool really all throughout the country because the feelers were put out there like, hey, this is Fast Eddie, and no one better let him into a pool joint as long as those mobsters and business people are around. And this movie is a wonderful redemption for him, where he can test his skills and he finally gets that itch to get back in the game and start playing pool. He goes to the eye doctor to get his eyes checked out so that he can see better. But he also figures out and decides what he really loves about the game. And it's not just about playing it. It is about that hustle. It's about playing the game, but also taking someone for everything that they're worth too. That's the part that he really enjoys. So when he goes to the tournament and he's playing all these different people, he's playing Vincent actually at one point, he comes to the decision that, you know what, this whole tournament thing, not really my style. Championships, trophies, championship belts, rings, whatever, not really my style. It's really about the cash that I care for, and that feeling of winning that green from being a great pool player and sucking someone in to my web of lies and my web of shadows. That's so cool, and it put a smile on my face. Now, do I think this story has the same emotional impact as The Hustler did? I don't think so. That first film, it had tragedy, it had relationships, it had depression. Here, we have this old guy dealing with this young punk-ass kid that you kind of want to slap his face a couple of times. So I don't get the emotional connection as I did with the other characters in the first Hustler film. But we do have some great pooling. We have some great pool shots. We see Tom Cruise, he's actually playing, and he's hitting those cue balls right in. It's actually pretty fucking cool. And Scorsese does a great job of moving the camera and making you feel like Tom Cruise and Paul Newman are actually making those shots. Just how the camera dances around the pool table, and how we have a high shot at one point and then it swings down, and then we have a low shot so that we don't actually see the table, just in case if the actors miss that shot in the actual take. I was having so much fun just watching the camera swivel around the table as a dance. Like, the camera itself was a ballerina just walking around the room, dancing around the room. Oh, it was gorgeous to see. The Color of Money, I don't think it's as great as the first film, The Hustler, but it is still a solid time, and like I said, the chemistry between all three of our lead actors here is great, and it's a great redemption story for Paul Newman's Fast Eddie. I'm gonna give The Color of Money 3.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
I am above average.
So guys, have you seen The Color of Money? What did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below and let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you'll know the next time I'm releasing my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.